Hey guys, it is September 28th, and I'm just going to explain to everyone why Baidu is not very effective in Russia. Okay, so for anyone who doesn't know, Baidu is a popular dating site that's really grown in the past 5 years in Russia and other Eastern European countries. When I lived in Russia, I had both Tinder and I had Baidu. Baidu is actually more popular for the masses in Russia than Tinder. It's so common, in fact, that it's almost like a second Instagram for many Russian girls and women. There's so many women that have accounts on this platform. And for this reason also, there's a lot of issues with this platform as a dating. Baidu is filled with all kinds of profiles and people, and they have both paid and non-paid services. Many of the services, though, you have to pay for to use. It's not free, which is one of the first issues I have with it. And what I notice is that the number of matches generated on Baidu compared to Tinder in Russia was much less, and typically the overall quality of women was lower compared to on Tinder. It was a huge difference, honestly. It's really a platform in some ways that to me seems more like a game. It's almost like a game between men and women. The relationships is kind of the general theme. So it doesn't really seem like something that plays out real well with real world dating. It's not really a service for guys that actually want to meet someone, go out on a date, and perhaps go out again and formulate true relationships. And this is a major problem here. I think one of the other big problems with Baidu compared to like Tinder is the fact that there's so many profiles that it's not a platform where you get a lot of very serious women and also men, but especially women. There's just too many unserious women on the platform compared to with Tinder in Russia. I think Tinder in Russia, it's not great, but there are definitely some real decent quality women you can meet. Whereas on Baidu, it's kind of like a needle in a haystack situation. There's so many profiles, but much of it seems kind of scammy to me. In actuality, a lot of these are real profiles. It's just that it's not really something a lot of women take seriously. But with that being said, that leads into another issue, I believe, which is that there are a lot of fake profiles on Baidu. As many may know here, online dating services have to often create a sense of abundance of profiles on these platforms to get both men and women actively interested in signing on and paying for these services. If there seems to be a scarcity of profiles, it's not really going to draw in a lot of people, especially men. So they often will create fake profiles here and there. You see this on most dating services, and Baidu is no exception. I think on Baidu, though, the percentage is higher compared to, say, Tinder or some other services. In certain age brackets, I think it's very high. And it of course is challenging because these are fake profiles. These aren't real people. And so it's very deceptive, of course. And that's another major issue of Baidu. Other thing with Baidu, and if anyone's ever lived in Russia or Ukraine understands that, the general way in which people communicate and interact in Russia or Ukraine is not how the system of interaction that is normal on Baidu. How one has to interact often is completely different to what may seem normal in real life. And I think that's a major challenge that for many people, without having that face-to-face connection, they're interacting with people in a way that's both not themselves, and there's no face-to-face happening here. So it's just very hard to relate to the other person. That is really the case here with Baidu in Russia. Another major issue, just like with Tinder in Russia, is the fact that many of the girls do not want a boyfriend on Baidu. They're not interested in that. They may not even be interested in a relationship. They may just want company of a guy or just their attention. So they're just kind of playing around. And some of them, in fact, in real life actually have a boyfriend, have a husband, have something, and you'll never ever see them. It's just, they just waste your time because they don't really actually spend a lot of time communicating with their boyfriend or husband, so they waste another guy's time doing it through this service. And due to the fact that a lot of online dating, until you meet the person, is anonymous, people can have fake profiles, fake pictures. You don't even know if that's the real person that you're speaking to in the first place. It's just a huge obstacle. It can cause a lot of problems with these types of services. And the last problem I see here is that many of these women and girls, due to the fact that there's just too many profiles, it's too big. It creates an environment where it doesn't actually amount to a good dating service, and there's a lot of confusion and a lot of real life interactions never end up happening. And as I said, it kind of just becomes more of this dating game service in my opinion. I look forward to people's feedback below, and thank you.